Hey guys, in today's conversation, we are going to talk about self-love practices. As you know, if you've been following me for some time now, I started a self-love practice for me several years ago, and it really has been transformative for me over the last several years. I feel like that practice, which was my very first time ever doing a self-love practice, and I did it for 40 days really just like broke down the barriers and walls and boundaries that I had created around my heart, keeping me from loving me. And so fast forwarding to now in real time, I have still had some form or variation of a self-love practice over the years. And it took me a long time to kind of come into a groove and a routine and a time frame that really held my heart and filled my aura with coherence so that I could ripple love into the world through putting love into me, for me first and for humanity second. Um, and I've always worked with self-love practices as a way of simultaneously working in the microcosm that is me and the macrocosm that is humanity and all that is in Mother Earth, right? And so when we go inside and pour love into those spaces, we're doing a solid for the human collective and we're being of service by tending to our inner gardens, our inner waters, right? And so this video, I'd like to talk about what I have kind of been fine-tuning and cultivating within my self-love practices these days. I think this might be really helpful for some people who perhaps have established self-love practices and maybe want to have like a new energy and cultivation and awareness around self-love come in. I also feel this information is really helpful for those that perhaps they're self-aware on some level and they have an understanding that they have like some weaknesses or areas that they'd like to strengthen up within themselves, whether it be within their feminine polarities or masculine polarities, right? And so what I have been exploring within myself, this video is recorded during the season of winter, which winter is a yin season. So this is a time of allowing the yang energetics to rest and replenish so that they can carry you through like the spring and the summer, right? Um, and so I have been very much so in my yin, and this year, as I've been in my yin and as I've been paying attention to the winter in my body, specifically as the season is going on, for I feel like I have been in a several year long winter. And I feel like spring is finally coming after all these years. But as I'm in this season of winter, I've noticed that there's like a new layer showing up for me around my masculinity and spaces within myself where I had um, unhealthy masculine dynamics or toxic masculinity that were finally ready to be shed, especially with like the coming of the close of the year of the snake and transitioning into the year of the horse, right? And I feel like the year of the dragon, which was the previous year before the year of the snake, I feel like that was like my shed for my feminine. Not even shed, dragon scorched us, right? So that was like the fires coming in and purifying and consuming and cleansing the feminine aspects within. And then I feel like Snake was very much so about shedding and healing things around my masculine energetics. And so this information is coming up for me at this time because of what's going on in my personal realms. Um, and so I find that as I go into my self-love practices nowadays in the morning, I usually do them in the morning. I feel like doing the self-love practice in the morning really sets the tone for the entire day. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to have like a bedtime self-love practice as well. However, for me at this point in life, mornings are where I find that the self-love practice shines best and sets me up for success, right? Uh, which for my mornings, I always start off my self-love practice these days and I set the intention. I set the intention that my guides of the highest love and highest light, my higher self, and my guardian angels and dragons of the highest love and highest light move through me today, moving and guiding me in my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric, and causal bodies through all dimensions of time and space, past, present, and future for my highest and best good, moving through my eyes, my ears, my nose, my mouth, my sense of touch, my extra sensory abilities, my financial flows and creative flows for my highest and best good. I set the intention as I go forward in this day to cultivate joy and to be observant of the joy that is around me and to internalize that joy and emanate joy for others to be turned on to joy today. I also set the intention that source consciousness in their purest form sparkles around me, showing me the light and support that I have so that I may delight in the light of all that is from whence I come from. Thank you. I go into the self-love practice, setting the intention. So you go into the self-love practice, setting a strong intention, setting the intention that this time spent in self-love, let's say from 7:45 to 9:15, is an input of self-love for my highest and best good. And now this is where we get real intentional and fine-tuned. And I set the intention that this self-love pours into the spaces within me that would benefit from self-love to enhance confidence, to assist in having more structure and discipline and follow through, and to help stand my ground while being emotionally vulnerable, keeping my heart open to love and closed to that which dismisses the love that I am. Thank you. Let us begin this time in self-love. And then I go forward into the self-love practice with different versions of whatever it might be that I need this day. So the tools that you bring into the self-love practice are usually things that resonate with you, and they are energetic frequencies, whether you're working with sound, whether you're writing, all of it. We all come from energy. So everything is a frequency. And you can see it as the self-love practice is now creating this bubble of love around you, protection that comes in the form of whatever it is that you decide to utilize in your practice that day. So things that I like to utilize as I'm working with my self-love practices are my voice and writing and reading and meditation and dance, where they all do something different in the multidimensional self. And going back a moment, so again, being intentional, very intentional. You already have the intention of self-love. Now we're working fine-tuning, confidence. We're working with follow-through, structure, discipline. Another one could be like, I set the intention that self-love practice helps me do better at time management, working in the spaces within that have really struggled with that and giving them the love and acceptance and peace that they need to cultivate a healthy relationship with time management. That's very specific, right? So again, fine-tuning that self-love practice. I set the intention that this self-love practice really serves as a blanket for me as I am emotionally processing that which I'm processing at this time, helping deter anybody who would take away from my inner peace as I process that which I'm processing, giving me that safety net of love around me to where I have space as I work today to just be in my feelings, perhaps on autopilot, processing safely. That could be another one that would be more for your feminine because you're processing your feelings, right? The other two I would say were more like masculine energetics. I set the intention that the self-love practice today assist me in dissolving perfectionistic tendencies that keep me from exploring my creativity, that keep my, I set the intention that self-love practice works to help ground in my creative ideas so that they become more than ideas and they actually become creative expressions made manifest in the ways that are aligned with my highest good. So this could be like if you have book ideas, poetry, podcasts, maybe even wanting to explore like painting, acrylic, sketching, watercolors, this would be useful in this way, right? It would give the permission, the energy, the momentum to go into those spaces within yourself. So again, working with really strong intentions at the start of your self-love practice, and then trusting that the energy will go where it is most beneficial, thanks to the orchestration and guidance of your higher self and your higher team, right? So things that I like to incorporate in my self-love practice. I bought this journal years ago and I started it years ago and then I stopped because I just have so many notebooks and then I circled back to it. So this is a 1-minute gratitude journal. I got it on Amazon. And what I've started doing recently is I've been working on my relationship with money a lot. And so to make it fun for my inner child, I bought little money stickers. And after I write my gratitudes, I then add a sticker. And then my inner child gets a little sparkle of fun as I do it. And this journal is just like half a page of gratitudes. It's really, really quick. So I have gratitudes that I write. I also do a meditation that I found on YouTube where they have you meditate on gratitude to start your day, utilizing gratitude as like the fuel for your day, right? And so I fuel my day with gratitude, and then I feel like it just makes my day so much juicier, so much more pleasant, so much more joyful, where I really don't take things for granted. I really appreciate everything that is given to me because I know some people, um, perhaps receive things every day that they just take for granted. Uh, and that shows where there's room to cultivate gratitude, right? Because appreciating things, savoring things, digesting things through gratitude practices makes way for more to come. It draws in more reasons to be grateful. And the universe likes to reciprocate and give us more to be thankful for, right? So I do the written, I do the gratitude meditation. It's a 10-minute meditation. The written's maybe a couple minutes. And then sometimes, depending on what's going on in my life, I like to play one song and I make it a gratitude dance. And so as I dance, the one that I've been dancing a lot to, I want to say it's Sherilyn Gardner, and it's the song Blessings Over Me. I've danced it so many times, my body just knows what to do. And so I dance it and I sing my gratitudes. I'm so grateful for the money that my husband made today. I'm so grateful for the delicious, healthy, free lunch that people brought for us at work today. I'm so grateful that I received the surprise check in the mail. And I sing and I dance and I pull in the gratitude. I bring in gratitude and fill up on gratitude, right? And then another way that I go about gratitude is I sing my gratitudes as I'm driving to work. I use my commute as a extension of my self-love practice. And this is where I like pray. This is where I spring clean. This is where I scream in the car if I need to. This is where I do EFT tapping at red lights with my fingertips if I need to. Really just juicing myself up for the day. And then this gives me the ability to be the calm in other people's storms, especially in the realms that I work in, which would be mental health. Um, and so that is another extension of my self-love practice and gratitudes. And then I also like to start, I've been exploring reading this devotional from the beginning since the January just started. It's called 365 Days of Divine Feminine Wisdom, um, which today I think is the 20th. So it says, there is a process to all things, and it's important to remember good things take time. This is true with self-love practices, right? Good things take time. Keep this in mind when setting intentions and practicing rituals to make your desires a reality. If your goals don't manifest overnight, it doesn't mean they never will. If you feel fearful that your dreams won't come to be, look to life and nature. Everything in the natural wild world takes time to grow. There is no instant expansion or manifestation in nature. There are rhythms and cycles, most of which are unpredictable even though they are expected. This is the magic of life. It is organic, ever-changing, ever-expanding. Indulge in the natural progression of creating your desires instead of rushing through the cycle. Let your dreams culminate. Grant them the time they need to reach their full potential. Savor the in-between moments as you transition from one season in your life to the next. What was I just saying? I'm transitioning from like winter to spring after several years in winter. Hold your vision, always trusting the process. Yes, yes, this is so applicable to me. And I love that like the bookmark that I have as I'm like starting this book. It's the Year of the Horse, and I bought this bookmark last year. And it says, give me knowledge so that I may have kindness for all. And it's a horse. How cool is that? I love the synchronicity and timing of this. So that's a taste of that. It's a non-religious devotional, which if you have like a religion that you're attached to, then use that kind of devotional. Find something to motivate you. Some people like to do oracle cards and pull a card from the deck. That works too. I find for me, I much prefer reading. I like reading cards, not necessarily on the daily, but more so I feel like I read them seasonally for myself. And then another one, I don't do it all the time, but it's quick, it's easy. I like to ask this book to just take me to the page and the messages that are most beneficial to me, which some could say this is like oracle cards, but again, it's a book. It's called Love Notes to Myself. And the name is backwards on the camera. Tanya Carol Richardson. The other author is Morgan Migliorisi, 365 Days of the Divine Feminine. And the gratitude journal is 1 Minute Gratitude Journal by Brenda Nathan. Um, so in the love notes, I just take note with it kind of towards the end of my practice. So today I open it up, um, and the page I turn to, it says, compliments about me don't have to come from other people. I give myself compliments on a regular basis about the way I handled a situation, the way I dressed, or something I accomplished. Hello, self-love, because this is you uplifting yourself, uprighting yourself, loving on yourself. Gratitude practices, they help you receive, and if you can receive and be grateful, you can also teach yourself to receive compliments from yourself, which the more you can compliment yourself and recognize your strong suits, the more you're going to be able to receive compliments from the outside that are true. Um, so complimenting myself is easy. I can compliment myself in my journal, in my thoughts, or while talking to myself about a friend. After I give myself a compliment, I make a point of giving a child, a coworker, or even a cashier I interact with at store a compliment and spread the love around. I love giving people compliments, and I learned this through Mama Gina when I was in the School of Womanly Arts. And she talks about how um, you receive a compliment and you say thank you, that is true, because that's like a big fu to like oppressive systems where they teach us to downplay compliments or like just not receive. Like there's a lot of things that tell us not to receive compliments. Like the Bible, if you were raised with Christianity, you want to be humble, you don't want to receive compliments, you always want to like give all glory to God, which guess what? God is inside of you. So every time you reject a compliment, you are not giving glory to God because you are an aspect of God. Um, anyways, end of tangent. So I love receiving compliments, and I love what another sister goddess taught me that she started doing, which was after doing like a spring clean, which is a self-healing technique with another woman, she will close it with three compliments about the woman being totally present with her. And so this is beautiful too, especially if you're cultivating friendships, or evolving in old friendships, cultivating new friendships, evolving in old friendships. You can give each other three compliments really from the heart. Which something like that would look like you are so admirable and how dedicated you are to showing up for the things that you are passionate about and doing so from a place of your heart. I really admire that about you. And then the other person would be like, thank you, that is true. And it's hard because sometimes you want to cringe because it's hard to receive. It's fun. So maybe look at yourself in a mirror as part of your self-love practice and give yourself three compliments that really are present with you. And then say them out loud to the mirror and then put your hand on your chest and say, thank you, that is true. And breathe into the compliment. Let it sink in. That could be a simple thing to include into your self-love practice. This is another facet of my self-love practice. I also love to start my day off with prayer. I have the daily prayer on my Pray With Me playlist, and then I also like to frequent prayers with the archangels. I love, love, love praying with the angels and playing with the angels. And then one of my favorite books that has been my go-to over the years for prayer is this one's. It's Prayers and Meditations of the Quiero Apache, um, by Maria Raseboru. I don't know if I said her name right. I apologize if ever she watches this and I did not say it right. Please forgive me. This book is beautiful. I usually read a prayer for about a week and I start my day with it. And it's so interesting because when I start my day with it, I notice how the prayer shows up in my day where I'm able to answer and be of service and aligned with the words of this prayer. It's like it almost brings me into more alignment of my heart and being of service as a soul here on earth. And so one of the prayers, if you want like an idea of how this prayer book is, here, let's go try a random prayer for you guys. Okay. So this one. Goose Dancing with Thunder is the name of the prayer. Grandfather Goose, you who demonstrate Hand on heart, please. Grandfather Goose, you who demonstrate endurance in the quest for the sacred, I who have known ignorance, bigotry, and injustice, now ask for the strength to be a shining example of unconditional love and pure intent. Assist me in my endeavors to understand and forgive. I claim the purity of my spiritual self. May it shine radiantly for all to see and share in its warmth. I ask you to personify within me the qualities of understanding, perception, and wisdom. My prayer, Snake of the South, personify hope and inspiration in my manner, speech, and actions. Living life is much more than just being alive. Grandfather, help me to jump in with both feet. I know wisdom awaits me in the depths. I am molding my life, cutting and shaping my being into the essence of love and the expression of spirit. May I recognize any fear in my desires and motives and my actions and words, and then shine light upon that shadow until it transmutes into a spiritual tool of love. As the work of molding proceeds, may I see more and more clearly what must be done to mold into my life, into my destiny of purpose. My prayer, thunder beings of the Southwest, may I give loving assistance where needed. May the miracles continue in my life. May every day bring a miracle. I am thankful and see the miracles at work in my life and in the lives of others on this road to oneness. May my life be founded on the rock of faith. May I be disciplined in manifesting my vision. My prayer, bearer of the West, may I gently inspire and encourage where there is despair, speaking words of hope so all may hear. May I be fully present in this day. May I be the recipient of its gifts. There is a proper time for everything. Teach me to do things as I am ready, as conditions are right. Timing is important. May my life have balance and timing. My prayer, little ones of the Northwest, by my very presence, may I bring comfort and leave in my wake an aura of peace and beauty. With a deep breath, the inner strength moves through me. I feel the exhilaration of your power. I know the excitement of growth and peace. Little ones, protect me from the illusion put forth by the shadow of fear. May I face all things through your power, which strengthens me. I have joined with my inner child. May the strength of this joy serve and protect us. May we remember that your help is always ready and available to us so that we may face anything. Little ones, do all that is necessary for my spiritual well-being. I ask you to have your way with me. My prayer, Buffalo of the North, inspire and lead me through the many unknown times, highs and lows or energy waves. They have purpose. Help me, Grandfather, to relax and freely flow in harmony. I believe what you have in store for me is better than anything I ever could have imagined. The way to grow happily is to look for love and to give beyond that. My prayer, master teachers of the Northeast, I go forth in full faith and knowledge that I am being led by my spirit. May I be a shining example for all to see. I move, change, and grow at the right pace. I trust the process. What is right for me comes to me. The joy of becoming warms me. Faith can change any situation in the field of personal relationships. I trust you to show me the way to move mountains. I am humble and know I am in partnership to create powerful, responsible acts of love. I have the faith that together with spirit, this is possible. Together we can move mountains. Situations change for the better. And it goes on for several more paragraphs and then closes with my prayer, light of all that is. I dedicate my life, my energy, and all I have to the fulfillment of the promise I made before taking on physical form. I appreciate the design of my life. I draw myself close to this moment. I take in the great venture of belief. My vision is not blocked by intellectual pride. Sacred parents and all my relations, my greatest desire is to fulfill my sacred purpose on this earth walk. May my life be received as a gift of truth, honor, and generosity, standing fast as the dream becomes manifest reality. Daina, and so it is. That felt good. That felt so good. And that's not even the full prayer, but to start your day off with that is just it's power. It's potent. It makes room for you to co-create. It makes room for your creator to be with you. It makes room for your soul to be felt by you and embraced by you and guided. Um, so yeah, I always have one of those prayers going as well. And then I like to do like maybe a 5-minute inner child meditation or whatever it is that I feel like I'm needing. So sometimes it might be inner child, sometimes it might be grounding, sometimes it might be root chakra, sometimes it might be an energy cleanse, just whatever I'm being guided to do in that container. And then in my self-love practice nowadays, I exercise on my elliptical and I like to sing this prayer that I found on the elliptical for the Divine Mother. And I like to, it's fun because the elliptical is cardio and then I'm singing. So I'm getting to express, I'm healing my throat, my voice. I feel like this has really benefited my throat chakra in so many ways. Like my writing's gotten better. My way of speaking with people has gotten a lot better. I'm loving with myself when I speak in new ways with people. Um, and the courage to speak in new ways is showing up. And I really feel like it has to do with the cardio, the heart, the pumping of blood, joy, and then singing prayer to the Divine Mother and connecting in this way while proactively healing and taking care of my physical temple, which is my body, right? So I like to sing as I'm on the elliptical, or sometimes what I like to do is I like to do like Oracle pick the card reading and I'll listen to it in the morning because Oracle cards are kind of like my version of like watching the news. Some people watch CNN and tune into Newsweek, and I tune into like Cosmic Kin and the Nordic Light and the card channels that I resonate with, right? So that's always fun. Or sometimes I'll use the elliptical and then watch the monthly energy report from This is Maria Orley Harris. And this is me getting right within myself, preparing for the energetics because I do believe everything begins with energy. So I live my life accordingly. So I exercise and then allow myself to plug into the outlets that uplift me and cultivate joy and love and do so unapologetically and happily. And this is my way of being tuned into what's going on in the world and nourishing myself with healthy media. And then sometimes I like to journal. I feel like it depends again on the season. I've noticed journaling tends to be more my summer and spring and like part of fall activity. And then I noticed in this recent winter that meditation, like I did so many meditations. I would meditate for like an hour before work. But I find myself kind of tapering away and balancing between meditation and prayer and now introducing journaling again. And then what I like to do is I continue my self-love practice. So it starts off in one spot, the couch, then it moves to the elliptical. And then I go take a shower and I place self-love affirmations to the water that I intend to drink for the day. And then I shower, I sing in the shower. That's part of my self-love practice. And I'll sing the song that my mom used to always sing when I was a kid, and it used to annoy me, and now I love it so much. And I sing, "It's a lovely day today. So whatever I've got to do, I got a lovely day for doing it today. And if there's something that must be done, and can only be done by one, what else more is there for me to say? Except it's a lovely day for saying, what a lovely day." And I sing that because it's song, it's my voice, it's vibration going into my energy field, it's a mantra, it's creating the reality for me. It's a lovely day. I am grateful to be able to work where I work and be more than okay. I'm grateful for like all the different blessings of abundance that stream into my reality, whether I'm working by myself or working on a team, or working behind the scenes on my dreams, right? And so these are all things that I streamline into my self-love practice these days. And then I work with really strong intentions in the beginning. Sometimes in my self-love practice, I include a swamping practice. Usually I do this one on like Mondays, I feel like. And I swamp on whatever's going on in life. It could be I'm starting a new work week, so I swamp on work and answering phones, or it could be something's going on in like maybe my relationships, so I swamp on that, or maybe I'm just trying to make more space in my body to receive good news. So I swamp on waiting for the other shoe to drop, for example. And then this way that moves out and receiving good things can happen instead. And swamping is a dance practice where you set the intention to metabolize emotions somatically through dance, through the organizing intelligence of your body. And you pick your first song, which it's very formulaic, anger. And then second song, grief. And then third song, turning on to your central erotic um, goddess or god self, and allowing that turn on to alchemize the lead of the heavy, dead emotions into gold so that you can carry on through your day no matter what's going on in your life, right? Very, very powerful practice. I've been doing it for years now. I learned that from Mama Gina as well. And it always makes life more manageable and better and has really brought in all kinds of like gold and good in my life over the years. Um, yeah. So that's my self-love practices, my 2 cents on how to be intentional with your self-love practices and some of the things that I've adapted and brought into my self-love practices over the years. In the beginning, if you saw me, it was the prayer and it was mala beads and Ho'oponopono and a lot of inner child meditations. And it's evolved a lot. And that's what practices do. They do evolve. We don't need to be militant. For being militant in a self-love practice, that means there can be a bit of like that rigidity of the toxic masculine, right? And then we can love on that and be intentional to dissolve that and allow fluidity to come, right? Because then that makes it safe for the feminine to flow. It all connects. So, anywho, thank you so much for tuning in today. It was a pleasure spending time with you in this way, and may you feel more loved having watched this, and may you cultivate a deeper love for yourself after watching this. Alrighty, be well. Thank you.